Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. Local businesses support the Cancer Society's Daffodil Day tomorrow. People living in the western suburbs will now be able to access a wider range of health and social support services. And the Arts Village are in preparation for next month's Tulip Fest. The Cancer Society's annual event Daffodil Day is being held nationally tomorrow, with local businesses and collectors set to get behind the fundraising and awareness campaign. Cancer Society representative Tracy Crompton says that donations will be collected from all over Rotorua.
In and around Rotorua, right through to the airport, right through to Nongataha, and at the Z petrol stations, who are also on board by donating every coffee that's sold $1. So all those ladies and gentlemen that want to get to fix to get their coffees, then yep, that's a weird place to go. Another business supporting the cause is Bunnings. Community event coordinator Debbie Atchison says that Bunnings have chosen to support the Cancer Society as a number of their staff have been affected by cancer, and also as a way of being involved with the community.
And also we have a number of team that have either been affected by cancer or have loved ones that have been affected by cancer. So yeah, it's definitely a cause that's close to our heart.
Bunnings staff have been encouraged to wear yellow tomorrow in support of the cause, with fundraising being held all day.
Sausage sizzle out the front, so that's where our red shirts team are out there, and they're doing the barbecue. We're going to have like the display like this. We'll have the teddy bears for sale, and all of our team are hopefully or have been encouraged to dress in yellow. They have to keep their aprons and their shoes on, but other than that, anything else can be yellow.
1 in 3 New Zealanders are affected by cancer. Donations received on Daffodil Day will go towards vital scientific research into the causes and treatment of all types of cancer, as well as providing a wide range of support services, information, health promotion and education programs to reduce cancer risk, awareness campaigns and programs for people affected by cancer. People living in the western suburbs will now be able to access a wider range of health and social support services closer to their homes. A Tipu Ora Western Heights pilot will see staff working out of the Western Heights Health Centre in Brookland Road. Health service provider Tipu Ora is working with the centre from next week to provide more responsive midwifery, health and social support services for the community of Western Heights. Tipu Ora Executive Manager Raywin Byrne says the organisation has worked in partnership with the practice owners of Western Heights Health Centre and will be building on the strong sense of community and existing services currently available. An event to launch Kia Puawai, the Western Heights Integration Project, will be held on Monday the 1st of September at the Western Heights Community Health Centre, starting at 10:30 a.m. A new event is being planned, Tulip Fest Rotorua, which is a collaborative partnership between the Inner City Focus Group and the Rotorua District Council, who are looking to promote the city's wonderful spring gardens, which produce around 40,000 tulips each year.
It is actually, the idea came from the Inner City Focus Group. You know, they've been in the newspaper a lot, and they want to celebrate about Rotorua and getting more people in the central business district. Just get more things happening in Rotorua. And one of the ideas they came up, let's just celebrate what we already have. So then the tulips, because every year we have about 40,000 tulips coming up and just, you know, beautifying our town. So we thought we like it, so other people hopefully like it too.
Festival organiser Sabini Williamson says the 2-day festival will include workshops leading up to the event, guided tulip walks, guest speakers and a weekend market in Jean Batten Square.
So there will be walks, there will be talks. Talks here will be held here at the Arts Village. There is an tulip. Annette has workshops. She's making a tulip art, like a knitted art work, and she's got workshops at the tea house. Then here we have speakers. For instance, Walter. Walter's been with the council for over 40 years, and he's been looking after the tulips for many, many years. So he'll be speaking, and we have a few other ones as well.
To stay up to date with the event, contact the Arts Village or visit their Facebook page. In sport tonight, Bay of Plenty under-19 play Wellington on Saturday. This is the team's last pre-season hit-out before they go into the Chiefs seeding round. Coach Brendan Webby says even though they had a good win against Hawke's Bay in the first pre-season game, the team still has a lot to work on, and that it's important that they put in a good performance in terms of where they need to be. The game is on Saturday at the Whakarewarewa Rugby Club with a 1 p.m. kick-off. To your weather update now. Tonight, light winds with an overnight low of 3. Tomorrow, Friday, cloud increases with the chance of a late drizzle, easterly develops, a high of 13 and a low of 6. And looking out to Saturday, cloudy periods with occasional drizzle, easterly winds, a high of 13 and a low of 7. And the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua for Friday, easterly 10 knots with waves less than half a metre, and there'll be poor visibility in late drizzle. Remember, for program listings and other info, check out our website tvrotorua.co.nz, or you can look us up on Facebook. Still to come in tonight's program, Darren McGarvey from Rotorua X gives us an update on the recent Dragon's Den event. We have the full interview regarding the new Tulip Fest, and the Rotorua Boys High First 15 coach Craig Hodge talks up this weekend's semi-final clash with Hamilton Boys High.
Well, Rotorua, there's a brand new festival coming to town, the Tulip Festival. Why, how, who, what, when? Well, we're about to find out. With me is the spokesperson for Tulip Fest, Sabine. Hello, Sabine.
Hello, Mel.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for asking.
Why? Why are we having a Tulip Festival? Who inspired it? What's the inspiration behind it?
It is actually, the idea came from the Inner City Focus Group. You know, they've been in the newspaper a lot, and they want to celebrate about Rotorua and getting more people in the central business district. Just get more things happening in Rotorua. And one of the ideas they came up, let's just celebrate what we already have. So then the tulips, because every year we have about 40,000 tulips coming up and just, you know, beautifying our town. So we thought we like it, so other people hopefully like it too.
So the tulips themselves, are they already in the ground? Do they spring up every year? What's the process for the flowers?
They get planted in autumn because they need the winter. They like the cold. So the colder the better. The more frost, every time you hear about the frost, think of the tulips. They love it. And then after the flowering, once they all dried down, shriveled up, they just get taken out of the ground, stored for the summer period, and then it starts again.
Wow,
and that process is really important. It's not good to keep them in the ground.
Yeah, they're quite treasured, aren't they?
Very.
So, who's the team working behind this?
It's a group of people, and it's just a group of people that signed up. For instance, we've got, of course, Bridget Nelson from the council helping us. Then we've got Karen Hunt as a councillor. She comes, she attends the meetings. Then we have got Annette Bates, who is known for her yarn bombing. Then we've got Jill Brake from Cottage Flair. We've got Jill Marshall. We have Harold Azendam from the gerberas, as flat tulips as Bridget now refers to them, his beautiful gerberas. And myself, and Charisma from the library. I hope I haven't forgotten anybody.
What's involved in the Tulip Festival? What will we be doing on the day?
It's 2 days. Okay. It's Saturday and Sunday, and it's the 27th and 28th of September. So there will be walks, there will be talks. Talks here will be held here at the Arts Village. There is an tulip. Annette has workshops. She's making a tulip art, like a knitted artwork, and she's got workshops at the tea house. Then here we have speakers. For instance, Walter. Walter's been with the council for over 40 years, and he's been looking after the tulips for many, many years. So he'll be speaking, and we have a few other ones as well. Then, as I said, there will be walks around the town. We're not exactly sure about the route yet, because that depends a little bit on which tulips are flowering at the time, but we'll get instructed by the council and by Walter a little bit closer to the time. We will have a little market. That's of course very important. We have a very cute market which is in between the library and the eyesight, Jean Patton Square, which will host Dutch food and some music and Turkish food as well, because originally, although people think that the tulips came from Holland, they actually came from Turkey. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
I didn't know that either, although I am from Holland, but I didn't know that.
What age group do you think that this festival will be aimed towards inspiring?
Well, ideally you would think all ages, because it's so colourful. realistically, well, what are the people who really love gardens? Who are the people who really love flowers? Who are the people who love colors? That young people too, and children, of course. So I'm kind of hoping to appeal to all age groups.
Wonderful. Now, when it comes to this festival and the 2 days in which it runs across, how many people do you think would come and take part in it?
Wow, that's a good question. We hope a lot. We hope hundreds. We also hope to attract, of course, our local visitors, but also, or our local people, but also visitors. And we hope to get visitors. We hope to get garden groups from other towns around us. So it's very difficult to gauge the amount of people.
Well, being that it is the first time that you're ever holding it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it's
absolutely.
all an experiment, and we're all trying. So we hope we get the support.
Wonderful. Hey, look, thank you so much for coming down and having a quick chat with us about the Tulip Festival. I'm sure it's going to be a hit. And you heard it here, first time, Tulip Festival, new to Rotorua, over 2 days. What dates?
27th and 28th of September, the last weekend of September.
And you're more than welcome to come on down no matter what age you are. Thank you so much, Sabine.
Thank you.
Kia ora, I'm with Darren McGarvey now. Now, Darren was behind the recent event held in Rotorua here, a start-up pitch night. How did it go?
Oh, it was fantastic. I was standing for 3 hours, but I can't believe how quickly time passed. Yeah, it was just amazing.
How many people did you have along in the end to pitch?
To pitch, we had 11 different pitches, all ranging from someone trying to get a arm wrestling champion to the Lithuanian world champs, through to our event winner who just did an amazing pitch on their on an amazing event that they run.
Yes, we saw a little bit about that. Now, he's done amazing stuff. Can you give us a bit of background on who he is and what he does?
Yeah, so it was Paul Charteris was our supreme winner, and that was voted by all 5 judges, and he runs the Tarawera Ultra Marathon, and he's just launched a new event too called the Tarawera Trail Marathon, which is happening in November this year. And his pitch was it was very professional. He's built up the numbers over the years, and he's just left his job at Scion to do this full time, which I think is a wonderful endorsement. So much so the New Zealand government has given him $300,000 of funding over the next 3 years to support his event.
Oh, that's neat. We actually interviewed Paul last week, it would have been, and he did tell us about that trail run, and it sounds really exciting. So it's not a surprise that he was able to come along and deliver on the night. Who else came along?
Oh, we had some extra. We had Julia Charity, who runs New Zealand's Homestay Network, who's based here. So she was our People's Choice winner, and also the runner-up winner as well, was judged by our panel. We had a gentleman who bought his mag wheel in, I'm assuming off his car or maybe someone else's car, and he had a mag wheel cleaner that he decided to demonstrate, and that was something quite different. We had all sorts of different ones. Someone involved in starting a new sort of laser tag and with aliens, and it was a wide range. Someone who wants to drive a train around the streets of Rotorua from tourist attractions. So yeah.
Well, there's certainly some creative people out there in the community, aren't there?
Oh, absolutely. And
so you're going to be doing it again?
Yes. Look, I've had contact from people who couldn't pitch on the night, wanting to know when we're running it again, and obviously overwhelming feedback to do it again in next year. So the great thing about this is in Tauranga they've got a startup weekend in November, and so this was a really good build up towards that event, and people can take their ideas along to that and get a team around them and pitch that weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, you've got another event coming up mid-September. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so every month we have what we call a Connect event, where we get an inspirational speaker along to talk a bit about their journey and their story and what they've done that made them so successful, whether it be in sport or business or in the community. And so mid-September we will be sponsored by Now, who's a brand new internet provider in Rotorua, and we're hoping to get a wonderful speaker along for that. So it'll be out on our Facebook page as soon as we've confirmed.
Sounds exciting. Tell me a little bit now about your recent pitch night. what the feedback was like from the audience, and you had people like Tamati Coffee, I think, did the mayor come along to it as well?
Yes.
What was the general feedback?
Yeah, so Steve Chadwick, our mayor, was our head judge, and I thought that was important to have someone, just helping out, because we had Todd McClay and Tamati Coffee on our panel. We also had Ryan Holmes, who's an enterprise angel investor based here, and Josh Daniels, who was on TV last night actually, being interviewed as part of Snowball Effect, launching their very first equity crowdfunding with Renaissance Brewing. Anyway, and so the panel all thoroughly enjoyed it. In fact, I had a call from Josh Daniels the following morning to say how much he really enjoyed being there and how he thought it was a wonderful event. The audience, they all had an opportunity to participate, so we gave them all a sheet and gave them a chance to pick their winner, which is where the People's Choice came from. We also gave them an opportunity to put their feedback, what was good about the pitch, what needed some work, and we've brought them all in the end, and we're sending those all through to the pitches so they get some feedback from the audience. But overwhelming, yeah, everybody thought it was it was a great event.
Quite an inspirational night too.
Yes.
Do you think any of the ones that didn't win had merit?
Yes. There were certainly 2 or 3 others who have definitely got viable pitches, and to their credit, they are already out there looking for investor funding to get going. So yes, no, I think it was good from that point of view, and we took away some learnings. So one of them is that we would probably split categories, so between commercial and community, as we mixed them all up this year, and you can imagine there's quite a difference in the pitch, whether you're trying to raise funding for a community organisation or event versus a commercial idea.
So any tips for the ones that are wanting to look at pitching next year?
Oh, look, rehearsal, absolutely, and you need to practice in front of an audience. We also, one of the other things was, what are your next steps? So we didn't get a real good sense from right across the board as to what people were looking for from the audience or from Rotorua community in terms of their next steps. So getting some real clarity on where to go from here.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing what's going to come out of Rotorua X in the future. Kia ora.
Kia ora, thank you.
Kia ora everybody, well I'm here now at the grandstands on the edge of the Rotorua Boys High First 15 field. Their rugby teams, they're pretty good. A couple of weekends ago they won a competition against Tauranga Boys, which put them to the top of the table in the Bay. Joined now by Craig Hodge, who's their assistant coach. Kia ora Craig.
Kia ora.
So must feel good about that.
Yeah, really stoked with that win. We really took control of that game, and it's always good to get one up on Tauranga Boys and take out the Bay champs.
He says with a smile on his face.
Very pleasing.
Yeah, very pleasing indeed. So tell me a little bit about your team this year and how they've come together, and you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think we've exceeded expectations, and we've taken out a number of competitions, and we've won a number of trophies, so the cabinet's looking pretty healthy, and as we just said, we've added the Bay Wide to that. So we're progressing quite nicely into the beginning of the qualifiers for the national tournament.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so we played Tauranga Boys, that made us the Bay champions, and then we moved on to play Wesley, who are the counties champions. The winner of that game, who was us, we had a good win against them, now play Hamilton Boys, who are the Waikato champions, and then the winner of this game in the weekend will be the Chiefs representative for the Nationals top 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So there's a bit riding on it?
There's a lot riding on it. Yeah, it's do or die. Our season could be over this weekend, but we're confident we can pull the wool over their eyes and win the game.
Well, I won't ask you what your strategy is for that, because we don't want any of them watching, but they're historically a formidable side.
Yeah, that's right. They're world champions. They're Super 8 champions. And this year it's 1-1 as far as our games go. We beat them in our first meeting together, and then they came out with a strong side to take out the second game. So hopefully we can turn the tables and get another one up on them.
Hopefully. Now, we do want to talk about something that's not very good news. A couple of a week ago, we had the big floods and there was a car crash out at Tingai, and unfortunately one of the boys from your team was in that. Can you tell us a little bit about that or give us an update with how he's doing?
Yeah, that young man, he was involved in a very serious accident, and at the moment he's not out of the woods. His family are going through a pretty tough time, as are the boys here at school. There's slow progress, but as I said, he's not out of the woods yet. And I guess for the boys who are trying to focus on the upcoming games, we're using that as motivation to play for Kane. You know, and his family are right behind us. But it is tough on his mates, the team, the coaches, everyone that knows him are finding it pretty hard. But we try and turn it into a positive, and that we can just use it for motivation and play well for Kane. I know that he'd want us to just carry on and do the best we can.
Yeah, and I understand there's a potential of being maybe able to go and visit him or spend at least some time and take him, some thoughts into his family?
Yeah, that's right. That'll depend on family wishes as well. We play our game versus Hamilton over in Hamilton, and Kane is up in Waikato Hospital at the moment. So all going well, we might be able to get a bit of time afterwards to pop up and give the family our best wishes and maybe to even see Kane and have a few words.
Now moving on to a couple of other sports. League, I hear your league team's doing all right.
Yeah, they're starting to come together now, and a lot of our first 15 boys will be involved in that program, but as our program continues, they're not available for the league team until we're done. And all going well, they won't be available because we've progressed through
So
to
rugby
the finals.
first, league second, is that how it goes?
Yeah, we are a rugby school, and we chucked the league team into the competition last year and had great results in the development grade, winning that national title. And that gave the league team the right to move into the top division, which will be really tough.
Now some of these sports stars, they're also pretty good on the stage as well. Are any of them going to be in this AIDA, or have you pulled them back from that too?
Oh, I think one or two boys will be involved, and if you watched our games, you'd probably be able to pick them out, the performers on the field as well. So, but no, there might be a couple involved there, and those practice times are outside of our practice times, and we know they're not going to get hurt while performing on stage. Here's hoping. Yeah.
Don't no one breaking a leg. No one breaking a leg.
No.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. Good luck with those games coming up, and if you win, we definitely want to come back and maybe interview a couple of the boys and get them to tell us how the game was. So go out there and win it.
Yeah, thanks very much. And if anyone's over in Hamilton in the weekend, come and support Rotorua Boys High. We're going to need every ounce of support we can get. So we'll see you there. Thank you.
Absolutely. Be there. And once again, love to Kane and his family over there in Waikato Hospital. Kia ora.
That was the Rotorua Boys High First 15 coach Craig Hodge talking with Kitty Danielle. If you have any news that you'd like to share with us, give the station a call on 07 3488 984, or you can email news@tvrotorua.co.nz. Thanks for joining us tonight. From all the team at City News, ko Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.